Okay, let's be real. There's sentimental keepsakes, and then there's the paper shrine to the past. If your home is starting to feel like a museum of old greeting cards, your kids' macaroni art, and journals from 20 years, it is time to create some space. All this month, we're talking about paper, and today we're talking about sentimental paper. Today, we're going through what to keep, what to let go of, and how not to be drowning in sentimental paper. You ready to do this? Let's go. Hi, I'm Unison Frances. I'm a certified professional organizer in San Diego, California, and I help women kick the clutter for a more energized life and a peaceful home. Now, sentimentality is a big deal, maybe to a lot of women. But figuring out what to keep and what to let go is so freeing when we get in the habit of letting paper go. I want to talk about 3 of the biggest categories of sentimental paper that I see in a lot of my clients' homes that are really getting them stuck. Number 1, greeting cards, birthday cards, Christmas cards, wedding cards, anniversary cards. Any kind of overarching greeting card is a huge sticking point. Number 2 would be journals that you keep, journals from maybe a parent, journals from the past. And number 3, children's artwork. So these are the 3 things we're going to be talking about today. And I'm going to be sharing some of the ahas that I go over with my clients to help them figure out which ones to keep and which ones they're just ready to let go of. Let's talk about greeting cards. Now, we look at them as if they are the physical representation of someone's love for us. But let's flip the script. When you give someone a greeting card, are you thinking, I hope they hold on to this forever? No. Greeting cards are more like a moment in time, marking something that was special for that moment, telling that person in the present that you are thinking of them. And then we let them go. It's a moment, not a lifetime commitment. So here's what I would say when going through greeting cards. Keep the ones that have extreme sentimental value for you. For me, I keep the ones that my mother made. My mother has passed on, so seeing her signature and what she wrote is really important to me. So keeping the ones that are super important to you. Number 2, I would say holiday cards, birthday cards that just have a signature on them, to Unison from so-and-so. We can feel okay with letting those go. And then also on the holiday cards, let's look at the ones with like the family picture on them and the update of what's going on as just that, an update of that family in that moment. You will probably hear from them again the next year. It is okay to let that Shutterfly card go after the holiday season. And number 3, really think about that you're not knocking on someone's door saying, hey, show me that birthday card that I sent you in 2018, right? No one is the greeting card police thinking that you need to keep it. Again, it's a moment in time. It is not that lifetime commitment. Make sure you enjoy the card and then let it go. I love that recently there's a trend at baby showers to, instead of giving a greeting card, to give a book, a favorite baby book. I just absolutely love that new trend. And I think that it means a lot more. You can even write in the front of the book something that you want if you want to be remembered. But that's something tangible that the family can use and hold on to instead of just a piece of paper. So here. Okay, now let's talk about journals. These are tricky because they can feel so personal. But let me ask you, do you revisit them or were they more in the moment and you were writing them? Now, if you use your journals, if you reread them and revisit them and reflect, then of course, keep them. But if you use them for more of a brain dump, mind dump, what's going on, problem solving, in the moment, then they served their purpose and maybe it's time to let them go. And juicy tidbit, if there's stuff in there that you don't want other people to read, maybe you were just using it as a confessional, maybe it's time for a really large bonfire. I know I have a few that are headed that way. Kids artwork. Let's talk about these prolific artists. I swear, if I gave my 7 and 8-year-old a ream of white paper, they would use it all in a day. And that's what we want. We want them to create, but it is not our job to store it. We don't have to worry about it because most of their artwork is just practice. Just like we don't keep every piece of paper that we've ever drawn on. We're not keeping this ream of paper to give to them when they're 35. I want you to think of some of their artwork as just that, practice. But then, some of the stellar pieces that you absolutely love, cherish, display, put them on the refrigerator, or better yet, frame them. I have made museum tags for some of my children's art that I absolutely love, and this one is definitely getting a place of honor on my wall. Children's art should be seen, not shoved in a box and given to them when they're 35 years old. Put it on the wall, rotate it, and then let it go. Because just like life, they're evolving in their style as well. Let's showcase what they are currently working on. Okay, so now that we've talked about greeting cards, journals, and kids' artwork, you will see there is still some that you want to keep. Great. So I would highly recommend setting a boundary for yourself. I have a small drawer in my desk that my kids know when they really like a piece of art, they come in and they put the art that they love in there. So that's creating a system, like a filter. They only put what they deem as not their practice into my drawer. And then when I look at it, I run it through another layer where I think, is this something I want to keep and display as my drawer gets full? So I have a boundary of a drawer on my kids' artwork. I have a boundary of a box that for my greeting cards, and that's it. If it starts getting too full, I get rid of some. And then for my journals, I think it might be time for that bonfire. I also noticed the other day, I keep a lot of notes from seminars and things that I go to. And I noticed that as I was rereading them, how they really don't have anything to do with my business or who I am today. But in that moment, it was very important for me to write those things down. But I think that that's how I digest information. I like to listen and write the notes down, and then that's it. So I'm okay with letting some of these other binders go with lots of business notes in them because my business has outgrown them. Our memories do deserve to be honored, but that doesn't mean that each memory deserves a piece of paper to be held on with it. It is okay to let the paper go. The memories are in here and in here. They don't belong to a greeting card. And just like that, I hope you've gotten some tips on how to handle your sentimental paperwork. And if you are drowning in so much of it that it seems overwhelming, I have got you. Why don't you come to one of our decluttering happy hours, and for an hour you sit with your paper in your home, and I sit in my home and lots of other women are with us, and you can have my expertise. You can ask questions as we declutter those things together. So jump on in one of these decluttering happy hours. I cannot wait to meet you.